Let's dive into one of the most incredible and enduring stories ever told, Noah's Ark. Now, it's a tale you probably think you know, but when you really get into it, it's about so much more than just a big boat. It's a powerful story about faith, starting over, and the promise of a brand new day.
And this is really the question at the heart of the whole thing, isn't it? When things feel like they've gone completely wrong, how do you even begin to pick up the pieces and start again? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through Noah's journey.
So, let's set the scene. The story kicks off in a world that, well, it had lost its way. The source material tells us that things had gotten pretty bad. People were just selfish and cruel, and the whole world was filled with conflict. It was like everyone's moral compass was completely broken.
And this is where it gets really interesting. On one hand, you've got the entire world spiraling into chaos, but on the other, standing apart from all of that, you have this one man, Noah. He was known for being a good, kind-hearted person, which was pretty rare at the time.
And that's the key, right? It wasn't just that Noah was a decent guy. It was that his goodness was so unusual that he really stood out from the crowd. In a world that was so loud and chaotic, his quiet integrity made a big impression, and it got noticed.
Okay, so because Noah was the standout person, he was chosen for a mission that was, well, it was almost unbelievable. God was heartbroken by how things were going, and the plan was to wash the world clean with a great flood. But there was a plan to save Noah, his family, and all the animals too. The instruction he got was simple, but the scale was just staggering. Build a giant boat, an ark. And this thing wasn't just for him and his family. Nope. It was meant to be a floating safe haven for 2 of every kind of animal on the entire planet. Can you even imagine getting an assignment like that?
As you can probably guess, building a massive boat when there's no ocean in sight, well, it didn't go unnoticed. People thought he was nuts, he had to deal with constant doubt and people making fun of him. But you know what? He just kept his head down and worked tirelessly to get it done. And then, just when you think things can't get any wilder, they do. As the ark was just about finished, animals started showing up, all by themselves, in pairs. We're talking everything from huge lions and elephants to the tiniest insects. It was like they all got the same memo.
So, picture this. Everyone's on board. The animals, Noah, his family, and the doors are sealed shut. That's it. The ark is now its own little world, this crowded, bustling refuge, floating while the world outside is about to change forever.
It started with just a drizzle, but that drizzle turned into a downpour. And that downpour became a torrent that just didn't stop. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain fell. The water rose and rose until it covered everything, lifting that massive ark and setting it adrift on a brand new ocean.
And this wasn't just a short trip. They were adrift for months, and Noah and his family had to take care of this entire floating zoo. After a long time, as things started to calm down, the big question became, is there any dry land out there? To find out, Noah sent a dove. The first time, it came back with nothing. But a later flight, well, the dove came back with something that was a total game changer.
And this was the moment. That tiny little olive branch, it meant everything. It was the first real proof that the waters were finally going down, that their incredibly long journey was almost over. It was this little symbol of hope that a new world was just around the corner.
And that brings us to the final part of the story, and maybe the most beautiful. The trip is over. It's time for a new chapter. One that's marked by a really powerful and lasting promise.
So the ark finally comes to a rest on the top of a mountain. Noah opens those huge doors, and everyone, his family, all the animals, they all step out into a world that's been washed clean, a fresh start.
And to mark this new beginning, a covenant, which is like a really solemn promise, was made. And the promise was this: the world would never be destroyed by a flood ever again. And to make sure nobody ever forgot, a symbol was put in the sky.
And you guessed it, that symbol was the rainbow. It wasn't just a pretty sight. It was meant to be this vibrant, constant reminder of hope, of renewal, and of the promise that kicks off this brand new chapter for everything and everyone on Earth.
So we come full circle. The story of Noah's Ark is way more than just a tale about a great flood. It's this incredible narrative about having faith when nobody else does, about enduring the unimaginable, and about the hope that can come after the toughest times. And it kind of leaves us with a question for our own lives, doesn't it? When we face our own personal floods, what are the olive branches we're looking for? What are the rainbows that tell us a new beginning is right around the corner?